Good morning, everybody out there in YouTube land. It is so good to see all of you. First of all, again, it's so good to see all of you. Thank you so much. Of course, I'm still in Georgia. It's just after 7 a.m. I've been up for about a half hour now. Um, Great show. I had issues, as you've seen. I didn't do any videos yesterday. I did a morning video at the hotel, uploaded it like normal, and headed off to the venue. And the whole day, that video never uploaded. Every time I'd look at my phone and check on it, which wasn't a lot because it was so, just so going. You're just busy at that show. But I would check my phone, and heck, that video didn't upload until after the show. So I don't know what was going on with my cell service or what. I was getting crap for reception. I didn't do any lives. I couldn't. I just couldn't upload anything. I didn't take any footage because I couldn't upload anything, which was I probably should have still filmed some, but it was just so busy, and first time at this show. But I got some great pictures. I met a lot of people. I hugged a lot of necks, and I can't even remember everybody, but I'm gonna just say the show was everything I thought it would be. Again, I hugged a lot of necks. Of course, Big Jim, Brother X, Wiseman, his wife. And again, let me name some names. And if I miss anybody, I do apologize. But, the bearded knife guy, of course, Stephen Jeffries, HT, Harold Terry and his wife, Man Stuff Terry, Jim Hunting, Fishing, Praying, Georgia Adventure, Randy. I could go on and on, man. It was just so cool, and so many subscribers. Again, I can't remember everybody, obviously, name, but it was so touching, humbling, and fun. And I pulled out a few things I'll go ahead and show off. Of course, it's nothing near my haul for the day, and I'll say this. I did bring my little folder of 12 knives that I was, just to show, because again, there are a lot of videos on my Christmas tree scales. People ask about them. My case, 25-cent and 50-cent tang stamp knives from the 30s. Let me tell you what, the Knife Doctor, Kevin Bentley, which again, got a personal invite to his gathering, and I didn't say anything yesterday morning about it, because again, I wasn't going to mention the gathering until I saw other channel people mentioning it, and they are. So again, I got a personal invite from the doctor. He evidently watched one of my videos about coming, or maybe when I hashtagged the show or hashtagged him, or I don't know. But he watched my video that said I was going to be getting there Friday. So I guess, it's a small world, right? So he knew who I'm communicating to a lot with, and he reached out to one of them and said, hey, I know you and the knife guy, that pocket knife guy, or Thomas talked, and he's going to be here Friday. Can you reach out to him and let him know about the get-together? Which was awesome, right? So yeah, I got to go to Kevin Bentley's house. And you know, that there, you guys, let me just say this. And I shook his hand and I told him this. Um, I mentioned it at his home, which, you know, in the backyard, he's got a nice little property, a nice spread. But then him and I had a really nice talk the day of the show, which I'll mention here in a second. And I'll tell you guys this. Kevin Bentley is as real as they come. Bottom line is this. He doesn't have to do that little dinner thing. Doesn't have to do it. His show, vendors are still going to fill up the show. The attendees are still going to come to the show and attend this great event, regardless of if Kevin Bentley is putting on a little dinner get together at his house for fellowship and stuff. I mean, does that help a little? Oh, I'm sure it does. But again, those are vendors that a lot of the people there are at the show or at his house are the vendors, and then of course channel people and some subscribers. But he can't have everybody in the internet, so it's a selected group. I was honored to be invited. I'm just gonna say that. And let me tell you what, great food, great fellowship, a lot of laughs. Yeah, a couple times I heard that, you know, I can be quiet and I can hear that pocket knife guy's laugh and, you know, cutting it up and, you know, just Thomas being Thomas. So, yeah, it was awesome. Now, at the trade show, let me just say this again. It's a small venue. There was more vendors evidently than last year. I didn't attend last year. It was a steady flow of people all day. I mean, all day. You had a line of people at 2 o'clock going in that you had the line going in at 9 o'clock when it opened. Again, you had a line at 2 or 3 o'clock. That was long, right? So yeah, it was a great show. Again, everybody I met, and I'm going to show you these, but I'm going to tell you this. So I had my thing with 12 knives, and someone was looking at them. Actually, it was Stephen Jeffries was looking at them, and looking in the thing. And he took one out to do. He said, "Hey man, can I do a video with this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he pulled out my John Primble India Steel toenail Christmas tree knife. So he walks over where he's in a good spot to show it off and does a little video. I don't know what he says, what he does, you know, blah, blah. I don't know if he uploaded it, when he'll upload it, but he took a video. At the same time, the doc was standing kind of to the side where we all were at this time. And he was listening to somebody talk, but he was also, you could see that he was kind of looking over what Steve was oogling over and excited about, especially when I just opened it up, right? There was a few people like, oh! Anyways, so then, of course, Steven saw the 25-cent and 50-cent case Tang stamp knives. And his reaction, again, got Kevin's attention because it was all going on. And he had already saw the shiny and, you know, whatever. But it caught his attention. So he finished up what he was saying and comes over and he's like, "Can I see those?" And I'm like, "Of course you can, Kevin. I was going to show them to you. I was just waiting, you know, I wanted to talk with you." He goes, "Man, I did a video. I've been on the hunt for these. I want these. What do you want?" And he was dead serious, you guys. Oh, and by the way, 2 cups of coffee. and I said, "I don't know, Kevin. I don't know." You know, but I didn't sell them. And he straight up looked me in the eye and said, "You know what, Thomas? If they were mine, I wouldn't sell them either. These are too rare." And I said, thank you for that. I appreciate that, because a lot of people that did see him, I mean, I had money offered, but again, you can't replace him. Um, there were how many thousands of knives there? I don't know how many vendors were there, but how many different thousands different knives. Not one of these knives was here at this show. Says a lot, right? So that was really cool, and I can't wait to see Kevin Bentley's video about it, because of course when he's filming the knife and he's talking about it, and he shows the 25-cent tang stamp, he shows the 50-cent tang stamp, and then of course he puts the camera on me and asks me questions and stuff. It was just super cool. And again, Kevin is a good guy. He's a real guy. I got to go into his knife museum. You talk about tongue drooling, right? To have that on your property. Talk about going out and hanging out in a little knife room. Super cool, unbelievable. And I'll say this, because again, I told him, I brought the Case the Case Founding Fathers knife. I brought it. My intentions, straight up, if Kevin Bentley did not have, and I brought it, but I made this decision after, let me say this, I made this decision after the dinner, and I saw what I saw about the man. Because I did have the knife, because I was thinking I was going to try to trade for it. Anyways, so at the show, I actually asked Brother Rex, hey, do you know, have you been in there? Hey, Jim, have you been into his museum? Well, at the point, I had not been in there. Does he have a Case Founding Fathers Granddaddy Barlow knife? And they didn't know. Jim, I think, says, I don't know, and he had been in the museum, but he couldn't remember. Brother Rex has never been into the museum. He just looks into it because of his wheelchair. Anyways, so I got to go in the museum, and lo and behold, he had one on the wall in its box. Wasn't as pretty as mine, the Stag, but he had one, same series knife. So obviously there was no need for me to do what I was going to do. And again, when Kevin and I talked at the trade show, and he was looking through my 12 knives, and he was impressed with what was in that 12 knife case thing. I told him what I brought, and I told him what I was gonna do. And he's, of course, were you really? And just sticks out his hand, and because again, that knife deserves to be in that type of display. So with that being said, I did trade that knife to the bearded knife guy, which him and I had a hoot. He's a character, which him and I had already talked, swapped things. I sent things to him and his son, and I even think a poker chip for his wife, but he's a cool character. So again, him and I had a blast. And so yeah, he ended up with it. And I got a total of 6 knives off of him for that trade. It was a cool trade. It was a good trade. And, again, he's got a knife room. I don't. Yet, I know I tell everybody, the wife walks by me because we have a 2-car garage that's full of stuff. You can't even put another bicycle in there. Well, you can, but you know what I mean. It's full of stuff. So I don't have a workshop. So the wife walks by my area on the back enclosed patio, and she's like, she'll walk by and she'll go, shit. So anyways, I don't have somewhere to display it like that, and our house decor, I don't have a lot of knives on display. I just don't. So anyways, yeah, Tim and I made a trade, and I ended up with 6 knives for that one. And he was happy. The smile on his face, which is what it's about. Yeah, it's nice to receive things. Obviously it is. But it's better to give. And that's, I believe, and it's part of me. So anyways, let's get into this. I could babble and babble because I miss you guys, and it was a great day. I have a little leak on this cup. I don't understand. And with my phone being screwed up of uploading, I couldn't do videos like I wanted. So anyways, let me get this out of the way. Speaking of Big Tim, in our trading, of course, he threw me in a couple of lanyard beads that he made from deer antler. That, of course, he got the deer. A subscriber, George Bremlett, cool guy. Him and I email, text, talk. Very good friend now. He was with Jerry Phillips, Shelby knife guy. Great guy, too. We all hung out. And then they had 2 friends with them. But anyways, George made me this. And which was very cool, which I already had known. He had sent me a picture of this a couple months ago. And he says, look, I'm working on a couple of these. He goes, I'd like to make you one. Would you want it? And I'm like, brother, of course. That's awesome. And he was showing me ones with cross and without cross. And, of course, which one would you like? Of course. So, and let's do this, Oh, well, if I'm doing it on a video and not holding it steady, here you go, George. And this is a show-acquired knife. Let's see. There you go, George. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. So that was a nice gift from a subscriber. Okay. And then Billy Silvers, one of the newer channels. It's what his show is. Shedworks? Too early. I can't even think. But Custom Shedworks? I can't remember. Billy Silvers. Oh, hell, the slip probably says. I only have my sunglasses on. But anyways, Billy Silvers, the Shedworks guy, the new channel. Everybody's getting to know him. He's a good guy. His wife talked him into starting the slip business, or starting to do slips. His grandson helped him get the channel going. Of course, him and he was a subscriber to my channel. A lot of you guys. He was a subscriber to a lot of you guys before he started his Shedworks channel with an X. And so anyways, he did this for me, which is awesome. And you guys, look at the colorful stitching, right? And my initials. That is so cool. That is so cool, Billy. Billy, I appreciate it, man, and it was a pleasure hanging out with you and rapping with you as many times as we did. You're a good guy, and again, I think we exchanged phone numbers too, right? Yeah, so text, reach out. You need help with anything digital if the grandson isn't around, because we know these young kids, they're whippersnappers, but if you need some help or any ideas, man, hey, we're connected. That's what it's all about. Okay, so those are the two or three things there. Then let me get real quick into these knives. I gotta see if this video uploads. So as I showed this, I'll get into more information about it. Of course, copper lock. Beautiful, though. Swirling case, long C, swirling C. I don't have my right glasses on. But this one has 88. Rusty and I, small town cutlery and adventures. We were talking text and stuff last night. This one has 88 on the tang, and that 88 does not mean it was made in 88. That 88 is when the designer designed this pattern. And this pattern was finalized in 1988. And this copper lock pattern did not get released until I think it was the 93. But again, on the tang stamp, the 88 is not the date it was produced. The 88, again, the 88 is when it was designed, not when it was made. Now, this is kind of crazy. the people that have been on my page the longest. Mo will remember it because Mo, of course, called it pocket jewelry. It might have been one of the first times I had heard that about one of my knives. I don't know. But anyways, you know, I'm a Remington freak, and in my collection, one of my prized joys is I have that 1930s Remington. Excuse me. It's a little penknife, but it's actually made out of true tortoiseshell, which, if you guys ever seen tortoiseshell when it's buffed up, it's pretty impressive. And again, of course, it got banned to be used. Well, I got to walk the trade show before it even opened, and I saw the exact twin of my knife. And of course, being at the trade show, for the price he had a price on it. And then when I, of course, told him that I have the same exact knife, and when I told him what I knew about the knife, he knew that pocket knife guy knew what the heck he was talking about. And of course, so he came down on the price to the price he had it on. I hope you guys can see this thing. I know it's kind of dark in here, right? Let me do this. Yeah, so that's it. Just the UMC circle. No made in the USA around it. Yeah, Remington UMC in the circle. That's it. That's 1930s, you guys. Did you hear that snap? I have two. That's awesome. I got a pair. I showed you the canoe. Of course, I had to come back home with the Remington bullet that I didn't have. So I got my Remington bullet, one of them. And then the last one I'm going to share is this baby, which was my intention to come home with Stag. You know. And again, I'm sorry this is a little dark, you guys. This room, I've got it as lit up as I can. But this is really, really nice, right? So again, this one's got the long swirl case, 1X on top, 1X on the bottom. Of course, you see this typical, boy, look at that pointy blade. That blade, but then it's got that, I get that Warncliffe, which is awesome. Awesome. Look at that swirling clip point though. Wow, look out. Yeah, so those are the 4 knives I wanted to show you all. That's all I got. I'm going to finish up my coffee and get ready and get on the road. Let me upload this, hopefully. It's longer than I wanted, but hey, I want to see if this works anyways. And for those of you that made it to the end, I appreciate that. And again, you know, I've said it, and I'll say it again. Because of all of you, I'm here. Because of all of you, I'm doing this video. I appreciate you guys so much. It means a lot. It really does. Thank you so much for helping me grow my channel. Thank you so much for all the joy you're giving me, you guys. It means a lot. And cheers from Georgia. And what's in your pocket? There's your dabs.